Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day, wherein, now that my bidinger is gone biding, time to shut the bidinger off. My Bluetooth speaker.
Power off.
That I will have to turn back on when I start editing this video, because well, actually I'm not going to have to do that. I actually put on my headphones so that I can record to a certain level off of my PlayStation 4, because I use the Share Factory editor, which is an excellent editor for what it is. One day I want to make a video just showing what it's like to to edit using a controller on Share Factory. So many things are controller based because controllers are easy to use. I mean, they use controllers. They're special controllers. They're not off-the-shelf controllers. They're like 1,000 times more accurate than off-the-shelf controllers, but they use controllers for stuff like flying drones and such in the military because it's easier. So anyway, though, I can't remember what I was talking about on that one. Anyway, though, late start. It is like 9:35, and you know why I got a late start? I have been a night owl my whole life. I have voluntarily spent over a decade and a half working graveyard because I like graveyard. I spent most of my life just dragging all day, barely able to stay awake, and then the moment the sun went down, I energized and I was awake. So I voluntarily worked night shift, and that was good. And then I fought for 12 years to become diurnal, nighttime, for my wife when I got married. And I dragged all day. And I got energized at night. Oh my gosh, I got fluff on my finger. I don't know where that came from. It's sticking. What the heck is going on? I got some adhesive on me. Where the hell? I must have been playing with glue this morning. I've been doing a lot of stuff. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, night owlness. And I tried real hard to go to being a daytime person, and it never worked. Only in the past couple years did suddenly my clock flip, and I have been a daytime person. When the sun comes up, I wake up. When the sun goes down, I get tired. Usually. Every once in a while, my night owlness will burst through. I hate to use the word burst because I was going to use it in my next sentence. So every once in a while, my night owlness will push its way through and make itself evident. Last night, I had a big burst of energy, as sometimes happens. I didn't do a lot of stuff that would like stress out my arm or anything like that. I just did stuff like laundry, folded some clothes, cleaned up a little plastic drawer thing in my bedroom. It was after 2 o'clock when finally I said, I need to stop doing this and go to bed. So, yeah, those big bursts of energy. And so, late start, because I got to bed late. Thumbs up for that. What else do I have on my list? Oh yeah, I am still fighting my depression from just everything. I mean, that when my Xbox died just like less than a week ago, that is a minor thing. But like the proverbial pile of straw, it's not just the piece of straw that breaks the camel's back, it's the cumulative straw. The one piece of straw weighs nothing, but the 100,000 pieces of straw you've already put on there, well, that's gotten heavy. So yeah, everything that's happened this year with my cellulitis, with my neck, and affecting my arm, with just everything, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, and I am just ugh. I mentioned yesterday I have been more lost because of depression plus gabapentin. The gabapentin doesn't help. it makes me loopier, and I don't like that. I'm more forgetful, this, that, and the other. This part's nice, the nerve pain going away, but I don't like the fact that it's harder to think. And trying to make sure that I've remembered all that, remember what I'm talking about here. Oh yes, still fighting the depression. But yeah, that was just the straw on the camel's back, and it has been hard to push through. I'm doing it because the alternative is, well, I'm pushing through because one foot in front of the other, and not pushing through is to stop. And stopping is, well, that's an alternative that I'm not ready for. The graveyards are full of people who have stopped. And people stop every single day. And I'm not ready to stop. So one foot in front of the other. So depressed as I am, as horrific as this is, just from cumulative effect, and how the depression has got me with the gabapentin feeling really disconnected from just life. This happens with depression. Depression lies. Depression gives you a false view of the world. Depression tells you all this very seductive stuff, but it's all lies. Depression lies. Now, another way to look at this, I talk about how, putting on glasses, the only reason I talk about it that way is, the old phrase, you look at the world through rose-colored glasses, to see the world in a different way. It's you're adjusting your perception of the world with those rose-colored glasses. Now, that's why I say that when you are depressed and you're wearing those glasses, yes, everything in the world makes sense, that it's awful, because those glasses that you wear of depression have a part of the equation, from a small amount to a large amount of that equation, right there on the lenses. So effectively, if you're not wearing your glasses, you can see 2 + 2 = 4. You put on your glasses and you've got a whole bunch of parts of the equation there, so that 2 + 2 = 5. Lemon plus orange equals depression. Take off those glasses, you can see that that's ridiculous. Why does 2 oranges and a couple sticks equal 5 lemons and a hamster? Put on those glasses and it's, 2 + 2 = 4. So you got to take the glasses off, because they're the glasses that depression gives you, and they lie. Now, it's not only bad things that do that. When you're in any state that's not normal, you are wearing glasses like this. From anger, unhappiness, depression, joy, pleasure, wonder. You're wearing a different set of glasses for each one of those. And each one of them has a little piece of the equation that adds up to what you're seeing. When you take the glasses off, the equation's gone and you can see reality. Even joy, you're not thinking clearly. But I'm suffering from depression, and so I did not go walkies last night. At all. I don't like that. I gotta work on that. So, but let's see what else I have on here. Oh, I think I mentioned the game a little bit yesterday, the game Operation Body Count. And I have said it is a terrible game. It is awful. It is one of the worst games I've ever played, and oh my god, I love it. I watched a 6-year-old review of the game by Civi11, whose shtick, of course, is that he's in some sort of ultra-secret, high-tech prison where he gets tortured for random stuff. Who knows why he's there, but he's one of just very, very many bad people who are there. And he reviews games. And one of them I watched this morning, a rewatch of him talking about Operation Body Count and how it's just the worst game that Capstone Entertainment made. And he's right, it's awful. It is one of the worst games ever made. It's terrible. The story doesn't make sense. It is ridiculous. You're trying to go into the UN building. So you go into like the basement. And you walk past, like you go through like dungeons with giant rats. and then you work your way up so that you can get to the swamps with swamp monsters. And then when you're out of the swamps, then you get into the actual UN building. And it's terrible. It is terrible. It is absolutely wretched. And oh my God, I love it so much. I do not know why I like janky games. Give me a game that's janky, and oh my God, I will love it as if I birthed it myself. Give me a polished game that works perfectly. One of the things that bugs me so much about the game Dead Island is your weapons, when you throw them, if you're a throwing person, is they will sometimes clip through the geometry of the floor, so that you might just see a little bit of a nubbin, and you have to look hard to find your weapon, and if you don't see just that little nub, then your weapon's gone. And there's a zombie type called a ram. I mean, they stand about 9 feet tall, and they're tied up in straight jackets and muzzles, and they are bulky muscled things, and they run at you and they slam into you, and they will just glitch out. I am so sorry that I cannot speak much more clearly than I have been. I am coming up with difficulty finding words, and I can only blame that again on gabapentin. I have troubles as it is, but it is made so much worse by that. Even at that, though, I'll talk about something else in a minute, but these rams glitch out. They will sometimes end up standing up on top of something, like a car or a vehicle or anything like that, and if something gets above them, they will glitch up above that and then out of the map. Even in the Dead Island one on my Xbox, of course it was the Dead Island one, on the Xbox there was a part where the ram had glitched up into off the map, and I could hear it running around on top of the map trying to get to me. Thumbs up for that. I can't remember what I said that I wanted to talk about, so I'm just going to have to keep going on this one. I have been leafing through more of the Ironsworn book. On top of that, yesterday, and continuing for some time, Free RPG Day. There are companies out there that are giving their actual big thing, Free RPG Day, where you go into actual stores and you can get free game stuff. You go online and you can download free game stuff. I had bought the game Delve accidentally, which is just an expansion for Ironsworn, a couple years back, because it was part of a big old bundle from itch.io. Delve was useless without Ironsworn. I didn't even know I had it. So I got Ironsworn back there, and then there was Delve, so I've added Delve to it, and then there's another person who's got Ironsmith. Ironsworn is this big. Huge notebook back there. The other thing, Delve, just as big. I don't have that printed out. And then the other book, Ironsmith, the thing, huge. It's huge. So I was leafing through the book last night because I want to make it less intimidating and I want to play. They have a huge info dump at the beginning. It throws all of the major mechanics at you. And then when it's done, it says, okay, now, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Just look it up when you need it, if you need it. And then tells you, make a character, make the world, do this, do that, gives you a nice little checkpoint, and you can breathe. Ugh! But even at that, I still want to go through and play the thing. Now, it's one of these, it's rules heavy and rules light at the same time. As they mentioned, you can play, if you want to make a fantasy character, you know, like an elf or a dwarf, they just say, just make some minor adjustments, because the mechanics for your character are very light. Your character has, like, you don't even write down stat. Well, I imagine there's probably stats. I'm not going to say that. Most of it is just not really written down. The important stuff is things like momentum, which is when things are going well, your momentum is high, and then you can use that momentum in your favor to re-roll bad dice. And you're keeping track of your vows that you make. And those are the large parts. You're keeping track of stuff like that on your character sheet and not character stuff. You are assumed to be very capable and competent. You don't even keep track of your equipment. Because your equipment, you're assumed to be competent, you're assumed to have it, you just make a difficulty roll to see if you can find it in your stuff, if you need equipment. So you just got it all. It's light, but not. You have moves that you can make, like combat moves, settlement moves, these types of moves, and then you have asset cards. It's a game that really you should be using cards. But I want to leaf through it, make up a character for the channel, and that would be good. As well as I'm trying to figure out how to do 96 dungeon, because I want to play the game, but it's easier to do digital. But I think I'm going to have the rules up on screen, and then my dice tower and the character sheet, because otherwise I would have to have like a paint program where I've got 9 different layers for the 9 different dice, and then I'm just going to get confused as trying to remember which layer it is, and then so we'll work on that and see. And as an aside, yeah, just like yesterday, my arm is feeling pretty good. It's increased pain because I've been using it a lot, because my natural inclination is to use my arms, and it's only a growing pain. Started like a 3, easily ignorable, that's good. Maybe a 4 because I've been using it a lot, but it's like 5 pounds heavier than my left, just 5. Tiny little springs, and it hurts. Yesterday, trying to go to sleep, it felt again like someone had slammed my severed injury wound spot here with a hammer. But my entire arm wasn't feeling that bad. It was mostly confined here. These are still tight, but not that bad. Everything's quiet back here. And occasionally, I can feel the nerves sparking, but it's not in a painful fashion. Another one of the reasons that I tug on my shirt so much had something to do with where I am on the autism spectrum. One of the big things about people who are... I am an autistic person, not a person with autism, and so I don't know how to say that in plural, but people who have autism or are autistic, one of the things that is big is textures. I can't have things like peas inside of mashed potatoes because the texture just, oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. I can't eat that. Another problem I have is the texture of folded cloth. One of the big problems I have with wearing t-shirts and then an overshirt during the summer, during the winter, is that folded cloth of the t-shirt underneath. Until I can pull it down, it is just the worst thing in the world. And even now, I keep pulling it down because number one, I got belly fat rolls. I don't want to show them off. And number two, folded, just the wrinkles and folds like that, they don't feel good. Those texture, it's not a good feeling. And so I keep pulling it down so it's not folded on my body, because ugh, thumbs up for that. And then past that, I wanted to really quick at 18 minutes. I've talked about this before, I've talked about a lot of things before, but in all the stuff that's happening to me right now, I'm going over stuff just to remember it on my creative setting. With the Kaiju and Apple Rock. You may wonder why, even though the valley is here, the mountain of Apple Rock is here. It has a clearing about halfway down and overlooking this nice, pleasant valley where civilization and cities tend to grow. Why would people stay there if the big Granny Smith looking rock up on the clearing every 4, 5, 6 years unfolds into this big creature that comes down into the city, rampages and eats, anywhere from, there was the fridge raid of 1108 when it only ate like 650 people, all the way up to the Night of Terror, CE 1114, when it ate 12,500 people. Why do people stay there? Why are they rebuilding Apple Rock after the Kaiju rampages? Part of it is it's next to the center, off center from the center of the razor's edge. And just like the inside, where the center of the island that all of this takes place on the inside has infinite riches because of all that energy coming to one place and raining down before it goes through the door into the other razor's edge and then out into where we are. All that energy is raining down. There are literal infinite riches when you can get there, but because there's so much in the center, well, I have to talk about that another day. It's almost a whole 20 minutes on what happens to you if you get in too far and you stay too long. On the razor's edge, where this energy is still concentrated and raining out as it down converts to energy that the outside can use, where we are, there are, again, near infinite riches. If you are in Apple Rock, you have everything you need. All the minerals are there. This infinite mining, infinite food, everything you need is there. It is a very, very strategic place to be if you need resources, and Apple Rock needs resources. So, that's the reason why City would be there, but why would the people stay? Well, the kaiju is up there, and one of the things that happens is the kaiju has a very, very efficient digestive system. When it is digesting human beings, the end result, the waste product, is just an odorless, colorless, ordinarily harmless gas. Every human being comes down to about a liter of this gas. It is not like blasted out through an orifice at the end. No. The Apple Rock kaiju has little tunnels and such where this gas leaks out through the skin, and then the gas, heavier than air, pours down out onto the city and into the valley and then all around the Apple Rock area. At first it was just a normal gas, but the kaiju, being able to do so many things, can tweak its digestion so that the waste product will do different things. Right now, when this gas comes down, and it has been this way for almost 1 trillion years, it was, well, like 300 billion cycles of sleep ago that this creature figured this out. But there are compounds in this gas that when breathed by a human being, well, they are very long lasting, and they attach and break down into metabolites that go to specific places on your body and give you feelings of community and pleasure when you see others, and just joy of being around people that are breathing this stuff too. You don't know you're breathing it. And as it breaks down, it continues with its metabolites to affect the rest of your body. It is increasing how much serotonin and dopamine you get. It tells you how you're feeling. There are some people that are so affected by this, but that even the thought of leaving Apple Rock will give them panic attacks. There are others, the vast majority, well, not the vast majority, but a larger majority, not all, when they leave Apple Rock because they're not getting this gas anymore, their systems get really shut down to survival level. Their bodies only produce as much dopamine as is needed for survival, only as much serotonin as is needed for survival, only so much oxytocin, one of those chemicals in our head that is a companionship thing. It helps us bond with others. Survival level. When you're out of Apple Rock and this happens to you, the world is cold. It is dark. People are just withdrawn and just unpleasant. You don't like it out here. Well, the world is just nasty until you get back to Apple Rock and you can breathe because the people are nice and the place is wonderful. And if you're not that badly affected, your memory of Apple Rock is, oh boy, like if you go to Disneyland and you have a great time and your memories of it are actually, they get better than the actual time you had. If you go back, it will be kind of a disappointment. your memories will never live up. On the razor's edge, because of this gas, when you go back to Apple Rock, it's even better than your memories were. Oh my God, it's even better. I'm almost at the point I can start writing Patreon patrons up here again. So thank you each and every person who has, number one, become a patron, number two, donated to my PayPal, and number three, has donated to my GoFundMe. I haven't had any donations of late, but for everyone that has, thank you so much. I have next month's Comcast built up. I need to start building up for like the move that's coming up too, but thank you each and every person. You don't need to donate or give me anything at all, but you have, and that is greatly appreciated. Now I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounced the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count American Sign Language apparent occasionally, I've given up on that. It's just, I don't know, I've changed. We have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. Nexor EH. If you do get bolt gun, Warhammer 40k bolt gun, just remember one thing. It looks like a 90s boomer shooter. It plays more like Doom Eternal's arena shooting. You will pass through areas where you blast creatures, and then you enter the arena, and you can't leave until you've killed everything. And oh boy, those arenas can be tough. Great game, and you can adjust it to look really crunchy and really 1990s. It's awesome that way, just be prepared. There's It's Relit, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you, and I hope to continue seeing you. JAYY, thumbs up, and yeah, I've been watching and listening to the whole Wagner sort of situation. I am glad that they reached a deal with Putin, but Putin made a horrible mistake. He caved. He blinked. He showed himself to be weak. Anyone now is going to look at him and go, oh, all we have to do is march on him, and we'll get what we want. He messed up. And Wagner, as terrifying as they are, they won. Oh boy. And we have KK8RMOT, thumbs up, and 77 Arcturus, thumbs up and thank you. I can't see, and thumbs up, thank you very, very much. We have Jan, greatly appreciated, and yeah, the $100 rule does suck. There is FF7, and then a whole bunch of numbers, thumbs up and thank you very much, and Chris, thumbs up, thank you, good to see you. There is MOLESENGMOK, I scrolled, GOSI, thumbs up and thank you, and that is it. Thank you each and every one of you. It is greatly appreciated. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is greatly appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. Well, it is Sunday, and my day is late. It is 10 o'clock already, and normally I'd be uploading by now. I was 8 o'clock when I got out of bed this morning. Hey, thumbs up for that. Normally, even if I went to bed at 2, I'd be up at 6. I mean, I wasn't sleeping. I finally decided rationally and fully awake to get out of bed at 8 o'clock. But it was nice to at least be able to lay there and be in bed for about 6 hours. So thumbs up on that. And hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done. If the things you want to get done are nothing, I hope that you can definitely get it done. And if it is something, but you can't get it done, please do not beat yourself up. That's not going to help you get it done better next time. It's only going to make you feel bad. So, until we meet again, you take care, have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. And then still, this is likely just going to be my catchphrase for ending videos, like the mournful howl of the bus horn. No, just me turning on the controller and then awkwardly going, thank you for watching.